Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the student panel discussion of University of the Arts, London College of Communication. Before we start, just a few things that I would like to make everyone aware of. Your audio as a um, viewer is currently on mute to help with broadcast quality, so you can see us and hear us clearly. And if you have any questions, then throughout the presentation, you can drop them in the questions box and they will show up to us and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. This session is being recorded and being shared with you. So after the event, you would get a YouTube link with this video on it. And there are other members of staff in the session, but their audio is muted and you would hear from them if necessary. To start off with, hello, I am Sukriti and I'm a second year student in Interaction Design Arts. I am also an international student from India and this is my third year in the UK. I did a foundation year before this.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. My name is Marina. I'm 23 years old, and I'm from Spain, Barcelona, and I came to London like about 3 years ago. But I'm studying PR, and I'm on my final year.
Hi everyone, my name is Yazel Sharif. I've always lived in London my entire life. I am in my first year and I am studying film and television.
Hi everyone, my name is Adriana and I'm doing public relations. I'm on year 2, I'm 21, and I moved to the UK when I was 16 and I previously studied IB diploma in Oxford.
Hello everyone, my name is Katarina and I'm from Slovakia. I moved to the UK 6 years ago. I studied in Cambridge. I did my IB diploma program there, and currently I study at London College of Communication. I study BA journalism and I'm on my third year, so I'm graduating this year.
So I'll be talking to you about the transitions from college to university. And there's quite a lot of stuff to expect when it comes to academics, independence, specialization, and your career focus. Academically, you expect to step up in academic intensity and depth as university courses often delve deeper into subjects compared to college. So in college, you'd be given the basics of the studies, whereas in university, it'll get into more depth and more critical. Independence, universities offers more independence in managing your schedule, choosing classes, and taking responsibility for your own learning. In university, you'd be expected to stay on task with all your subjects or your studies and make sure all your work is organized and up to date. Specialization. UAL programs sometimes allow for more specializations within your chosen field, allowing a focus on specific areas of interest. For example, when I was in college, I studied media and we had a broad understanding of what media is. However, once I got into UAL, I specified specifically in film and television and got to learn more about film and television in general. There's also other opportunities available, such as photography, communication, journalism, and other aspects of media. Career focus. Universities often place a strong emphasis on preparing us for specific careers through networking events, career services, and industry partnerships. So UAL has a lot of opportunities for you to work and network and sort of broaden your networking abilities, and you sort of do a lot of collaborative with other students. And the tip that I would give to you guys is to be open to talking to new people and as it helps you network better for your future. Moving to London finances. London could be quite expensive city to live in, but there's so many ways where you could budget well to help you save money, and there's a lot of university support available to you. There's a lot of free things to do around London, and there's also so many apps available to you, such as Too Good To Do, Uni Days, and Student Beans. And they sort of help you save up your money and budget well. They offer 20% sometimes, and sometimes 10% in retail and restaurants. And a good practice to sort of help you save your money up is to budget your money like monthly. So split your money up monthly, and that will help you help you save up some money. The university also offers a lot of support for you financially. It will also be discussed at the end, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Accommodations in UAL halls. People in London sometimes choose to get a flat or live in university halls or private halls. UAL has a portfolio of halls to choose from all over London, and accommodation services help students who want to live in their own flats or private halls. So you should definitely check out UAL halls, which are quite local to the university. Staying in or moving out. There's a lot of pros and cons to whether you want to stay at home or move out for university. I personally have decided to stay at home for my first year. And I've like after starting university and seeing how everybody, like majority of the people are in student halls, they seem to be invested in a lot of social clubs, activities. And for me personally, I think that's something I would like to do for next year to help me interact more with my peers, my classmates, and other students. Moving out also gives it gives you an opportunity to become more independent. You have an amazing opportunity to live away from home, and like you sort of grow up more by managing your own finances, your household responsibilities, and you sort of become more reliant on yourself. There's also a lot of social experiences that you can achieve whilst you move out. It offers students them it gives you an opportunity to immerse yourselves into a diverse culture and social environment, interacting with a wide range of people from different ethnicities and cultures.
Right now, I'm just gonna give you my whole experience from a different point of view since I'm from abroad. So when I moved to London, I had to come up with something else. So because I know moving from abroad can be like especially challenging things. We're from another country, so the whole thing changes. Especially when you think about being alone or like financially, I think those are the most big things to think about. In my case, for example, I just chose to be an au pair, which that means I was with the family living for 2 years. For the first 2 years of my uni, I was with them, which was a really good experience for me. Because obviously, first of all, like I said, I was not living by myself. I was with a family. I didn't have to pay bills. I didn't have to pay rent. They provided my food and everything. And also, I was able to grow my English like a lot quicker than what would I have done living by myself, for example. So that was a really good experience for me, and I think it's a really good option to think about in case some people would like to try out the experience. But for now, I recently just moved out as well with my partner, which means now I need to be aware of what it's like to live in London and all the expenses and how much money it costs, everything. So yeah, here I just created a rough monthly budget of what it would like, how would it look like to spend some money. Bear in mind that this could be like probably split to two people if you're sharing a flat with someone, or in case you're like just living with friends or like in accommodation as well. Everything's cheaper because the bills are included as well and everything. So as you can see on the table, rent would be around 1,000 pounds per month, and that will be already including all the bills. Then for travel, I put like a 50 to 100 pounds budget roughly. But you should consider getting an Oyster, which is the transport card that we have in London, and especially for students, it's cheaper, which means I think from what I remember, I paid like £20 or something for the card itself, and it's a student card with your picture and everything, and it's linked to your student ID. So every time you travel in London, tap in, the cost of the travel is like 1/3 cheaper, or you could always just buy the weekly or monthly cards that obviously have a set price, and then it's cheaper to travel with that person. Then you can just do unlimited travel. And then also for like entertainment and groceries and stuff, and like eating now, obviously it would depend on every person. There's more people that want to spend more money on that. On my case, I don't eat out that much right now because I'd rather just stay home, and groceries are cheaper if I just do it myself. So I think it's around like £50 per week. Sometimes a bit less than that. So that will come to like £150 a month. And then for eating out, is in case there's like activities like birthdays or there's festivities, special days, stuff like that, you're obviously gonna eat out or have a drink outside. So I say like £50, £100, £150 max. That's what I would spend by myself. And then charity depends on how much you're willing to help out other people. In my case at the moment, unfortunately, it's £0. Hopefully in the future I can donate, but not at the moment. But yeah, that just depends on you guys.
I'm going to talk to you about student life in London. And I want to start by saying that there will be so many opportunities for you to socialize and get involved and meet new people. As you start your year, I would strongly encourage you to attend the welcome events that LCC offers. During your Freshers Week, there will be a bunch of like online panels, on-site classes and activities. It's stuff that is meant to be like an icebreaker. I remember my friend did like yoga and pottery class, and I attended some of them myself. They were more academically focused, but I met my first uni friends there and also some people from my cause before it even started. But throughout the year, you're going to have so many different other opportunities to meet people. Some of them will be provided by your course, like guest lectures, for example. In my first year, I attended like all of them. And because of that, I also met students from second and third year of my course, which was super useful. I would also say it's good to look for some events yourself. For example, I use the app called Eventbrite. So they have some, I believe some of the UAL events were organized there too. You just sign up through the app. And yeah, I found all my freshers events there. Also stuff like holiday parties, like Halloween parties recently, other fun activities around the city. Some of them are paid, but some of them are free. Especially there's some really good free networking events and like career fairs. Where you can meet students from other unis as well. And yeah, don't be afraid to try things out. London has so many things to offer. Even if you're not like a party person like myself, you'll always find some ways to socialize. I also want to mention some things that you can do around Elephant and Castle. If my friends have like a longer break between the lectures or even after class, if we have time, we usually just go eat like literally around the corner. So we have Pret close by, we have Sainsbury's right next to us, we have Nando's, Spoons, 5-minute walk from us, we have Koi Ramen, which is my favorite ramen in the area. We also have McDonald's close by, but my absolute favorite is Mercato Metropolitano. It's like 5 minutes away from us. I guess I could call it like a food hall. So basically a place with like a million other like food stalls and bars where you can grab food, grab a drink and just hang out there. It's also very pretty and I just go there like every other day after class. But if you can't be bothered leaving the building, we also have the darkroom bar at LCC, which is open every day in term time. And it is exclusive to UAL students, but you can just have drinks there and hang out with people. Also book the space if you need. And you can play pool and darts for free. Can I have the next slide, please? Another great way to socialize is through Art Student Union. So it is a student-led organization, and every UAL student is automatically a part of it. There's also a representation and democracy team in it. So every course has their student representative, and every school has a school rep that operates more on the college level. I am both a course representative for PR, and I'm also a media school representative. And I found this role very, very fulfilling because I had just an opportunity to meet so many other students and just talk to them, hear their voices, and just make the best of our uni experience. We're all super proactive, and it's a great community for people who just like speaking out, who like sharing and organizing events and making sure everyone has a great time. And you'll have a chance to get involved in your first year and even apply for bigger roles later on if you're interested in that sort of thing. But that is not all, because our student union also has societies and sport clubs. I counted over 60 today, active societies among all the UAL colleges you can join. Some of them require small payments here and there for like equipment and activities, but most of them are free of charge. And there's a range you can join. I listed some of the categories. They all have different focuses. Some of them are like strictly academic and career oriented, like advertising, fashion business society. I even saw Google development. Some of them are creative, manual, like ceramics. You also have art curation, poetry, publishing, literally anything. Some of them are about your culture or faith, where you can connect with people who share the same values or celebrate the same holidays as you. And some of them just represent like general interests, like film, book club, Taylor Swift club, I even saw. But yeah, I would be listing them all night. There's so many. And you also have sports clubs, competitive and non-competitive, like dance, cheerleading, boxing, run club, football. Yeah, all of that. And many others. There's 29 to be exact. I also counted. But if you can't find anything for yourself, you can always set up your own, and they'll help you set it up and figure it out. And yeah, I think I'm gonna ask the rest what their experience with society was. I'm gonna start with Marina. If you could tell us more about like joining your chosen society and how did it go for you?
For me, I remember last year, it's the only society I actually joined, but it was like the pottery society, because it was becoming so trendy, and I just was so curious, and like it just looked so cute to try out. And then I literally just paid like a £5 fee, like to actually join the society, because that helps us then when we meet with other people from other units to do just the activity of the society. They just provide biscuits and everything as well. So I guess everyone paid like that £5 at the beginning. It just helps us like, to fund the club. And then every time you just go, obviously you just let them know, and then the day you just go, and then they just provide the materials for you. And I think I paid £1. It was not like the wheel thing, like the big thing. I think they just do courses on that as well, but then it's separate. But then the price that you pay is obviously so much cheaper than what you would actually pay somewhere else if you wanted to do pottery, like in any other shop or like institution. So that's the really good thing, that if you just really want to try it out, it's going to be so much cheaper as a student in a society.
Yeah, it's cool that it's already for you, all paid. You just pay a small fee and you have everything prepared. I want to ask Katerina as well.
Yes, so in my first year, I joined the dance class, and that was really nice because I also paid like small amounts, I don't know, £5 to £10 maybe per whole year. So I literally met my friends there that I'm still in touch with, and it's so nice because you can socialize, but you can also share the same passion for dance. And we also had like dance performance and different events going on in the same building, so it was really nice. So I highly recommend you to sign up to one of those societies, definitely.
Thank you. Can I ask Suki too?
Okay, so I am a committee member for a society. So I handle the finances for the Indian Society, and I'm also a part of another society. I'm a part of the Creative Entrepreneurship Society, where they like give you like there's like a bunch of guest speakers that come in, and they have a bunch of like events that regularly happen. It's a very cool society. I just joined it though, so I haven't really got around to socializing with people, but it looks very cool. They're holding like a gala, I think, a winter gala thing. It's very cool. Yeah, but our society, the Indian one, it's free. So anyone who's even interested in the culture can join. It's not very specific to actually being Indian. Anyone who's South Asian, anyone who's interested in the culture can come attend events. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice. I was thinking of joining one myself because that's a really good way of socializing. I was just scared because I really wanted to join Skate and Blade. But the year I wanted to join, it was just Skate and not Blade. And I really wanted to Blade. And they were like, oh, there's no one on Blade right now. So I didn't do that. But maybe I will this year. Can I have the next slide, please? So lastly, I want to talk about facilities. So LCC offers a variety of facilities. They're both college-wide, so they're accessible to everyone, and also course-specific, so only accessible for students on that specific course. And facilities are managed by our technical coordinators who are available on site to assist you with all your projects. And there's also an online resource booking system where you can sign up for all the workshops, inductions, book study spaces, and all the equipment. And I listed some of the facilities for you. I chose my favorite ones and the ones I use the most. So first is the library with a common area for group work and also quiet studies area for like individual work. I also mentioned you can book spaces, and I usually get this room in the library that's like isolated from everyone, and me and my group members, we just sit there and work in peace. That's very helpful. We also have the kid room where you can rent out your equipment, and staff will help you pick out what you need and how to set it up as well. Last year I rented a bunch of tripods and microphones because I was making a podcast episode for my assignment. And it went really well because they helped me kind of figure everything out because I have no idea how to do anything. And yeah, it was just super helpful. We also have a huge printing facility. So that includes printmaking, letterpress, print finishing, digital printing. It's huge. LCC was actually known as London College of Printing previously. So it's huge. There's so many projects you can execute there. We also have digital space where you can work on your projects or sign up for workshops. I completed free. So I did Adobe Photoshop, I did Adobe Procreate and Adobe Illustrator because I had no idea how to do those things and I wanted to learn. And that's just a great opportunity if you want those qualifications, but for a lower price because a uni is obviously discounted and the market price is way higher. So it was a very nice addition to my course, especially when my course PR isn't really focused on those sort of things. So it was a nice extension to take those courses. We also have stuff like Creative Technology Lab with interactive computing. We have 3D Workshop, a bunch of different types of studios. They're both college-wide or course-specific, depending on what you need. We have film, photography studios, we have TV studios, sound art, everything. We also have game design studio and all the editing and processing facilities for your post-production process. So anything you need processed or done is there for you. Yeah, thank you.
Right, just moving on into careers and employability. What does that mean? That means that UAL provides and supports us, like students, with services like, for example, the place, it's just listed in there, which is a place that is to guide us and help us with any information we might need or that we want to know regarding jobs, to help our portfolio, to build our CV, how to find a job, how to apply for it, how to get ready for an interview. And everything just depends on your degree that you're making. We're just gonna go in there to help, and then we'll specifically help you out on however you wanna apply or help with regarding the industry, which is really, really useful, especially when you're just a student trying to build all that kind of stuff to actually just find a job while you're studying, or like afterwards, or when you're just getting ready after you graduate. And then they offer as well a professional mentorship, which that means that each student, if they want to, they get assigned to a mentor, which is like an industry mentor, that he's or she is going to help you out on exactly what I said before as well, but like more in an individual way, or like they can just put you with someone for a few months. So like it's following up with your path and like how you're getting on with whatever you were working on with him or her, which is really good because it's like you have like a private help all the time for a lot of things, which I think that's for like the best thing of this year for me because I'm having that. And it's super useful because you're not just that lost like trying to find all that stuff, the stuff in Google or like figuring out asking whoever, because they actually have the experience to help you out with. And obviously that's for free because the uni provides you, so I think that's like super good. And then yeah, obviously as well from each degree is different, but on my degree from life first and industry collaboration, just says that means every month, for example, in my case, they bring industry professionals to give us talks, and that means maybe someone from a company just comes in uni, everyone's just listening to how the company works, what's the daily life of that person's job, and then it's just giving you that real insight of like how would it look like to be working like them. So that means like what you're actually studying is like you can imagine why you studying that, like, oh, how is going to be my day in a year when I graduate. There's people that's going to come and explain you different industries, and then you're going to be like, oh, that sounds like I want to be doing that or the other thing. So it's really good. And then we've got something that is a really good purpose being a student from this uni, which is ArtSTEM, which is a platform where university uploads a bunch of jobs where every student can apply for. And there's literally just any type of job that you could do while either you're a student or like after you graduate when you're an alumni. And the best example would be right now, all of us are here doing this presentation to you guys. We've been hired by marketing team in FCC. So that means we're getting paid for delivering this presentation and talk about all our experiences, which is great because as a student, we obviously just want to make some money as well. And there's other jobs in my case as well, other than doing this, for example, I did some fittings for fashion students in other campuses in UAL. And you can just be helping in events. So there's just, or you could just be in reception buying units. There's just there's a lot of offers, and then you can just check them every day and apply as a student, and then you can just get the possibility of getting one of them or more of one, which is great. So yeah, you can just move on the next slide, please.
Okay, so the Diploma in Professional Studies, or the DPS year, is a year that is after your second year of university. So in this case, what they do is you have the option of taking 1 year to work in industry, and in that you're expected to do 100 days of placement, and you're supposed to find an internship for yourself for that 1 year, and then do that for 1 year. At the end of that, you end up getting a diploma in professional studies. And as of right now, I am in my second year, so they've started giving us talks and bringing in industry professionals to tell us about this year, and they've started guiding us on how to start looking for internships, how to get internships, and how to build connections with people in the industry. So it's a very like helpful year, which I do plan to apply for because I do want to get a head start. And I believe it's really like useful for your CV and building stuff on that. So yeah.
So academic support. This is something that I really, really recommend you signing up for and joining all the workshops because they offer support in basically writing your essays or dissertations or different basically uni work that you have to do. You can sign up for their one-to-one tutorials, or they also do different workshops during the month. So, for example, you can sign up for on their website, and you can choose which one you want. They're free of charge for all the UAL students. And this is something that many basically new students or their parents ask me when I do the college tour, if we have a language support, and we do have a language support. It's basically a great place if you want to improve your English while you study, or if you struggle with English. Many international students use this opportunity and are really interested in it. And so I would highly recommend you, if you're an international student, to check this out. But we also do have a peer mentoring. I recently applied for this, where I will be mentoring some of the younger students, as I'm in my third year. And I also had a mentor in my first year, and it really helped me to broaden the my horizons while being new in the college, and to understand what's and how it works within the university. So yeah, I highly recommend you signing up to every of these possibilities at the UIL. Next slide, please. Yes, so I came across this program last year. It's called Enterprise Experience Program at the UAL. It's something that I would really like myself, because while being in London and I study journalism, I needed to do different internships or work experiences in order to gain the experience in journalism. But I kind of really struggle with that, and I didn't know how and what. But I also had the support from the university at the same time, which also really helped me to navigate. But this specific program aims at students who are from underrepresented backgrounds and who would not be able to take unpaid work experiences. As we know, many of these internships, work experiences in London are unpaid. So I think this is a great opportunity to be paid for those work experiences. This is eligible for all current UAL students, so anyone can sign up. It is an opportunity to gain real life work experience for your future careers. As I said, I need to have, in my specific case, a lot of experience in journalism. So this is great possibility how to gain this real life work experience. And all these work experiences last for 6 weeks. And as I said, you are paid, and you are paid London living wage, which is great. Next slide, please. Yes, so we are coming to the study abroad. I done myself a study abroad in my second year. This is something you do usually in a second year. It probably varies from course to course, but in my case, in BA journalism course at LCC, they offered us to study abroad in Denmark or Spain. I chosen Denmark for my exchange program, and I can honestly say that it has been a lifetime opportunity. I mean, I can really recommend anyone coming to UAL to do this and go and study abroad, just because you will meet different people from everywhere in the world. You can experience different culture, mentality, travel, and also I gained a lot of experience in journalism because I went to a different university, which is in partnership with UAL. And so I could see how they do journalism, for example, and be inspired in some ways. And I contacted the LCC mobility team, and they told me that we currently have 21 courses that offer these exchange opportunities in second year. However, it really varies from course to course and from year to year. So, for example, right now there can be 21 courses that offer, and the next year there will be different numbers. So it really varies. And this is due to courses going through revalidation. And also, we have different partnerships with different universities, and those change, which is normal. And so yeah, I highly recommend you, once you are in your second year, to explore this opportunity. It's fantastic opportunity. I can really tell. Yeah.
Okay, so that
Sorry, Suki, I was just gonna jump. I was gonna add as well on this
I
slide.
apologize. Yeah.
That in my experience as well, I wanted to share the like I said before, I'm doing PR, and last year on my second year, there was this opportunity towards the end of the year where some of us we were like chosen to do like a trip to the Netherlands, which was like, and it was for a project, obviously. It was like an industry brief project that we were given by like a real person that was like an entrepreneur, and he was like wanting to open his own business. So he had his idea, and then we, in groups of like 4 or 5 people, we got mixed up with other students from like a university in Milan, and a university in Paris, and a university in the Netherlands. So we got mixed up, and then we were given a brief that we had to work on during a few months on the semester, and then on the last week is when we went to the Netherlands to finish the project, and then we presented to that guy. So it was really, really good experience, because obviously we went on a trip for free, but we were like working on a real thing that we would just come across in any normal job in the future. So it was really enriching for us, and yeah, I really enjoyed that, and that was on my course as well. Yeah, that's it, my whole experience.
Sorry about cutting you off.
Oh, that's okay.
So this brings us to the end of our presentation. If you have any questions related to like general inquiries, then the contact is up on the screen. If you have questions related to accommodations, student support, or scholarships and fees, those contacts are also up on the screen. There's also contacts for the international admissions and UK and EU admissions. And you could also find some of us on Unibuddy, the app, where you can talk to us directly and you can ask us questions about what it's like being a student if you have anything specific. But for now, you can also ask us questions in the chat. So yeah, let's start with that. Yeah. The first question is, how do you find living in London? Does anyone want to take this up?
Yeah, I can
Well,
take it.
everyone has different points of view as well. It just depends on like if we're coming from abroad, or if we're already living there like our whole life. I think it's different, but I think speaking from everyone that comes from abroad, it's pretty nice and feels really good to be outside our home country. It's really different experience, and then I think it's really fun to experience that, especially when you're in uni, because student life is probably one of the best parts of someone's life. So I feel like we get to enjoy it here. London is such a big city with so many things to do. So I think that's like a plus. So I find it really cool, in my opinion.
I can totally relate to what you said, Marina, because I feel like London is the best place really to be if you want to explore different events, opportunities. I mean, myself, I can say after 3 years living here, I have experienced so many amazing opportunities in journalism, for example, or any other experience really. And I would never probably have this opportunity anywhere else really if I chosen to go somewhere else. So I feel like London is perfect if you just want to find your own self really. And it's great place to just explore everything, because you are young, you want to explore, you want to see and do different things, and London is the perfect place to do that. really. So yeah.
One of the questions is, will the webinar be available to rewatch later on? Yes, it will be. You'll be emailed this link, a YouTube link, for this webinar. One of the questions for Izail is that, what made you decide to stay in London after, or to complete your studies, like further education?
With the course I wanted to study film and television, I done my research and I found that UAL offers the best film and television. So it caters to what I wanted to study. And although I could have studied in other places, UAL was the best option for me specifically, and that's why I chose to stay in London.
That's a very good answer. I honestly same. Um, for Katerina, how easy is it to get around London via public transport?
I would say really easy. You can take the underground, bus, bike, like there are so many other options that you can explore. But I find it really easy. I mean, I even walk, you know. I recently started to cycle in London, which I was so scared to do in my first year. And everyone was saying like how crazy you are to cycle in such a busy city, you know, and now it's just perfect, you know, I'm not scared or anything. So I think like you just need to get used to the city. But I would say the transport is super easy, you know, and sometimes people think that, you know, going from one tube station to another is actually better, you know, to going by the underground, but you can just walk it, you know. So I would say super easy when it comes to transport.
Thank you. For Adriana, is it easy to get a part-time job according to you?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like all my part-time jobs came in from the art temps. So I did a lot of things there. So I did a lot of ambassador jobs. I did open days like this one, like student panel. I also did normal open days where students come in and I would go on to do a session with my course leader and kind of do a presentation for other students, answer their questions, meet them. And I would get paid for it, and it was great because I would meet so many people. There was also a bunch of smaller jobs. I got offered to run a public relations Instagram account for my course as well. So that's something I'll be working on right now. I feel like as long as you're very involved in your university and you seek out those opportunities, it will be easy to get them. And I don't have any part-time job outside of university not related to my course, but a lot of my friends do. And it was easy for them. And depending on your course, but usually it's not that hard to manage your uni hours with part-time job as well. And there's always time for it, depending on your like personal management skills, I would say. And yeah, I would say as long as you're involved, it's very easy.
Okay, thank you. The next question's for Marina. Do you have any tips for choosing the right course?
That's a really good question though. In my case, it was pretty easy because I came from Spain studying marketing and advertising before, so I just knew what I liked as in for the industry. So then I just moved from PR because that's one like the specific field that I wanted to just keep learning from. So that was kind of good. But I feel like for people that came from, I think in England they do like other exams and they have like specific subjects that they take on and they study. I feel like that's really great as well because we don't have that in Spain. We just do all the subjects. So at least if you're younger and then you start already moving into specific subjects that you find interest on, that already gives you like a smaller field of things that you know that you like. And then from there, obviously, you can even contact like in the case of UL, they distribute for campuses like fields. So obviously, you know that FCC is like a more like media courses, and then we will find you can just have a look at all the list of courses that they do, and then like read about them, read the subjects that they're gonna do through all the years. You can just contact teachers or students to be like, oh, what's your day like when you go to class? What you study? What your assignments like? What's your plan? What you wanna aim for? And then if that resonates with you, if you like what you hear, you know, like, oh, maybe I just go through that. If you like some other kind of field, maybe some other campus in UAL will have courses that are similar to what you said, and then through there you start breaking everything, and that will just slowly give you better insight of like what you want to like finally go for. I think that would be the best advice that I could give. I don't
Thank
know
you.
what you guys think.
I wanted to jump in quickly.
Yeah.
And say, I think that it's also very important to think about what sort of, how do you want to study? What sort of university would be more suitable for you? Is it like strictly academically focused universities with lectures and lots of scheduled study? Is it a university that offers more independent study or a lot of practice or a lot of creative opportunities like UAL?
Yeah.
That's what made me decide to go to UAL instead of a more traditional university. So it's important to ask yourself those questions and based on that, figure out where you want to go.
That is true, because Adriana and me study PR as well. And then for our course, for example, like our grades, for example, are just pretty much based on the projects and assignments we do. So it's like practice based, whether it's individual or group work, which is great because obviously, well, for me at least, it's not like when I was back in college or something else where you just memorize a lot of things and then you just did exams. I really like that UAL for my course they do that, like practice-based stuff to grade us. So like she said, I think that's a really good point to look into before like deciding where to go, what to study, and the place.
I agree with that. Honestly, think about what kind of environment you're interested in and think about what you think works best for you as a teaching mechanism. I would also say go to an open day if you can. Try speaking to tutors and try and gauge what kind of stuff they're interested in, what you'd be learning. If you email admissions, then they could also like direct you towards questions that you might have for specific tutors. Another question, this one is for me. Is it easy to write a portfolio for the application? And do you have any advice on how to go about creating it? I think when I started my foundation portfolio, I started a year in advance, which was me being over-prepared. It was a good preparation, definitely, but I did stress myself out about it way too much. As for my BA portfolio, it's as long as you show research and you show the extensive amount of effort that you decided to put into an outcome, it's appreciated no matter what the outcome would be. The outcome doesn't need to be to industry standard, or it doesn't need to be the most fancy thing that you've ever produced. It just needs to be something which is well researched, well planned out, and shows that you put in effort. They're not looking for perfection. You're coming to university to learn that kind of stuff. So I think that's what I would say. When you're making something, make sure it's well researched, well planned out. That's what tutors and people who are going through your portfolio would like to see, even in an industry. So that's what they've been telling us in the lectures with DPS here. I would say just do that. You'd be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't think we have any more questions coming in, so I think this is it from us. If you guys want, you can take a screenshot of the screen which is in front of you for further reference if you need it. Thank you so much for coming to this open day. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye.